Drones. They're everywhere now. And maybe somewhat annoying. I bet you didn't know how a quadcopter works. First, let's start off with a hovering drone. 2 rotors rotate clockwise and 2 counterclockwise. By rotating in opposite directions, this makes the total angular momentum 0 so that the drone as a whole will stay stationary. To hover, all motors push up the same amount. Now, what if you want to accelerate the drone forward? In this case, you need to tilt the drone forward so that there is a component of thrust pushing forward. To do this, decrease the thrust in the front 2 motors while increasing the thrust in the back 2. Voila! Forward momentum. Do something similar to accelerate back or sideways. But how do you turn? This is the fun part. It has to do with the conservation of angular momentum, which is the measure of the object's rotational motion. If I decrease the rotation of the 2 clockwise motors, the drone would have to rotate clockwise in order to keep the total angular momentum at 0. Actually, I need to also increase the rotation of the counterclockwise motors to keep the drone from falling. But technically, it's not just angular momentum. There's also a drag torque on the props, where torque is like a rotational force that changes the angular momentum. In the end, a drone can be controlled by just varying the speed in these 4 motors. No complicated mechanical parts, but of course it's still complicated enough that you need a computer to translate your control inputs into manipulations of the motors. So that's the physics of how to annoy